What if I told you that 0% of the world's top wealthy people got there by just earning a salary? That's right, 0%. Yet most people spend their entire life relying on one paycheck at a time. I know, because I used to be one of them. I started with nothing, and the system I'm going to show you, the same 25, 15, 50, 10 rule I've used for years, completely changed my financial future. Quick question, how old are you? Drop your age in the comments because in a moment I'll show you why that single number could make a difference of hundreds of thousands of dollars in your lifetime. And to prove it, I'm going to share a tiny math example that flips everything you think you know about money. But first, we need to talk about why so many people with steady jobs still feel trapped, even when the paycheck keeps coming in. The illusion of freedom. The illusion of freedom is what traps most people without them realizing it. On the surface, having a steady paycheck feels like independence. You can cover your bills, buy the things you need, even upgrade your lifestyle when your income goes up. But underneath, the paycheck often turns into a cycle where every extra dollar quickly gets absorbed by new expenses. You end up building a lifestyle that depends entirely on your next payday just to keep going. Here's the tricky part. It feels safe, even satisfying, because every pay cycle brings that short moment of relief. But in reality, nothing has changed. You're in the exact same loop again. That's why you never see the wealthiest people relying only on a salary. In fact, research shows 3 out of 4 of the richest built their fortunes as entrepreneurs, another chunk through investing, a tiny share inherited their wealth, and just about none of them built lasting wealth by staying employees. It's proof that relying only on earned income rarely creates financial freedom. I've seen this play out firsthand. A friend of mine looks successful from the outside. Nice car, decent apartment, a lifestyle people envied. But below the surface, his entire paycheck vanished into rent, payments, and living costs. Month after month, nothing was left to save or invest. That picture of independence was really just dependence on the next deposit hitting his account. This cycle doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It means the system is designed to push income towards spending, unless you give it a structure. And that's why I use the 25/15/50/10 rule. Instead of reacting to money as it comes in, this framework assigns every dollar a job, right from the start. It's not about hoping for a raise or working longer hours. It's about shifting control from the paycheck to you. Now, in this video, I'm going to focus on just one part of that system, the 25% growth allocation. Because while the rule covers your needs, savings, and fun money, it's the growth portion that unlocks actual wealth building. This is where your money finally flips from something you earn to something that starts working for you. And once you see how growth really functions, you realize it's less about the exact amount you contribute and more about when you start. That timing alone can make a difference of hundreds of thousands of dollars over a lifetime. In fact, let me show you a simple comparison between two friends that proves this point in a way you'll never forget. The story of Billy and Phil. It's the clearest way to see how time can completely change financial outcomes in a way that effort and higher contributions often can't. So here's the challenge. Who do you think comes out ahead? Billy, who starts early with smaller amounts, or Phil, who waits but invests more each month? Drop your guess in the comments before I reveal the numbers. Billy begins at age 20. He invests $200 every month into a simple stock market index fund, something that follows the S&P 500. He sticks with that plan for 40 years. Over that time, he contributes a total of $96,000 of his own money. Phil, on the other hand, waits until age 30. When he finally starts, he decides to invest $300 per month, 50% more than Billy each month. He keeps that going for 30 years, which adds up to $108,000 in total contributions. On paper, it seems straightforward. Phil invests more money, so shouldn't he finish ahead? Now let's see what actually happens when we run the numbers. Using a 10% average annual return, the historical long-term return of the S&P 500, Billy's money grows to about $1,264,816 by age 60. Phil's money grows too, but by the time he's 60, his account balance is around $678,146. Remember, Phil invested $12,000 more of his own money than Billy, yet he ends up with nearly $600,000 less. Past returns don't guarantee future results, but this math shows why time is such a powerful variable. Here's the simple explanation. Compound growth rewards time more than contribution size. Imagine a snowball rolling down a long hill. The earlier it starts, the bigger it gets by the end, even if it's made of less snow to begin with. That's exactly what happened for Billy. His money had an extra decade to compound before Phil even got started, and that head start is something bigger, monthly deposits couldn't overcome. The takeaway is clear. It's not about waiting until you feel comfortable or until you can put away large sums every month. The most important factor is when you begin, even if you start with $50 or $100. Every year of delay doesn't just cost you money today, it costs you exponential growth tomorrow. And that raises the key question. If starting early is the advantage, how do you actually set up a system that captures it? That's where the growth allocation comes in. It gives you a clear framework for channeling a portion of your income into wealth-building assets right away, no matter the size of your paycheck. So if you wanted to start building wealth with as little as $50, where would you even begin? Let's talk about building the growth engine, the part of the money plan that actually creates wealth over time. This is where 25% of your income gets directed into assets that grow in value, so your money is working even when you're not. Most people assume investing is about having a high salary or waiting until you're already wealthy, but the growth allocation is designed to show that even modest contributions can compound into something life-changing. To make sure this is simple to follow, here's a quick 4-step checklist you can use. First, decide what 25% of your income actually is, even if it feels like a small number. Second, pick your foundation assets. In the early stages, that usually means broad index funds or even high-income skills if you're just getting stable. Third, automate everything so the money moves on payday without you thinking about it. And fourth, rebalance occasionally, usually once or twice a year, just to keep your percentages on track. That's the whole playbook. Think of it like climbing a ladder. At the base, you keep it safe with broad, diversified funds and skills that increase your earning power. As your stability improves, you can graduate to real estate deals or small online businesses for extra streams of income. And only when those foundations are strong should you think about higher risk plays like single stocks or crypto. Seeing the ladder this way keeps you anchored while still leaving room for bigger opportunities later. Now let's ground this with an actual portfolio example, the 3-fund setup. It's simple but powerful. 60% goes into a US stock index fund, like VTSAX, the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund. 30% goes international, using something like IWDA, the iShares MSCI World UCITS ETF. And the last 10% goes into a bond fund for stability, IBTM, which is an iShares 7 to 10-year Treasury bond ETF. This mix spreads your exposure globally, balances growth and safety, and means you're not betting everything on one market. If you have the choice, look for accumulation versions of these funds because they automatically reinvest dividends, which makes your compounding even smoother. And remember, investing can lose money. Historical averages like 10% are long-term figures, not year-to-year promises. This is educational, not financial advice. Here's where execution matters: automation. The smartest move is to schedule a bank transfer that hits your investment account automatically on payday. Inside platforms like Trading 212, you can then set up a pie with your target percentages, 60, 30, 10 in this case, and let the platform auto-invest week by week or month by month. Even if you're only moving $50 at a time, fractional shares make it work. Once set, you don't have to second-guess market moves or delay decisions. The system keeps building in the background. I'll even sketch this on the whiteboard next so you can see how the 3-fund pie divides every contribution. What happens if you stick with this? Slowly but consistently, that 25% growth allocation compounds into a portfolio that can carry you. And once you understand that wealth isn't about hitting some magic salary number, it's about running a system like this early and consistently, you'll see why this rule changes everything. The truth is, wealth builds when you remove the guesswork and let systems handle the work for you. That's what the 25% growth rule is designed to do. Make sure part of your income automatically goes to assets that build over time without needing constant decisions. Here's your single action step. Before you leave this video, decide on one concrete first move. That could be setting up $50 a week or $200 a month as an auto transfer into a broad index fund or ETF. Even a small start puts the system in motion. I'm not a financial advisor. This is what I do and what I teach. In the comments, write your age and how much you could realistically set aside each month. I'll respond to a few. In part 2, we'll look at the Stability Fund, the 15% safety net that protects your growth when life throws surprises. If you want more practical steps on building the full 25-15-50-10 system, hit like, subscribe, and share your numbers below.